This is breaking news with the Disney Dude. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content, and please hit that thumbs up if you like this video. We have a breaking news story. We now know more about Monstropolis and the land that they are creating at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So here is just a few of the here's the actual backstory of this. So following the events of Monsters Inc., when Mike and Sully discovered human laughter is more powerful than screams, Monstropolis changed. Fear and caution gave way to curiosity and connection. Now, for the first time, the monster world is opening its doors to humans for Human Day. It's Human, short for Humans Understand Monsters Are Nice Day. Human Day is part celebration, part cultural exchange. It's designed to introduce humans to life inside Monstropolis while helping monsters discover that humans aren't frightening. The historic decision, says the city's official newspaper, the Monstropolis Horn, is spearheaded by the new HR department, the Department of Human Relations. Human guests will get to explore the city, meet its citizens, taste unique cuisine, and step into the everyday world of monsters. Destinations include iconic restaurant Harryhausen's and the Globe Theater. For the first time, two worlds that were once separated are meeting face to face, brought together by laughter, not screams. All right, so that is the backstory of this thing. So the whole backstory is we are there because the monsters have decided to open their doors, so to speak, to the human world, where humans and monsters can now cohabitate, can coexist in harmony. This is much like the summer snow day idea at Hong Kong Disneyland, and where everything in the land is tied into the summer snow day. That's probably pretty much what this is going to be, where every single aspect of this land ties in to the Human Day. Riding the Monsters Inc. door coaster, watching the show in the Globe Theater, eating at Harryhausen's, meeting Mike and Sully and other monsters, interacting with the different cast members. It sounds like everything that they've learned from World of Frozen, they are now adding to Monstropolis. This all sounds like a really great idea. Now, look, I'm always going to be sour about the idea that they got rid of Muppet Vision 3D. Okay, I'm always going to resent that decision. So no matter how great I think the land is when it opens, I'm still going to have that, you took away one of the greatest things that ever existed at any theme park at any of the domestic parks. Okay, so I'm always gonna feel I'm always gonna feel sour about that. But I truly think that Disney knows that they need to hit a home run with this new land. Okay, because the last couple times here it hasn't worked out. You know, Galaxy's Edge was supposed to be a lot more. That never really materialized. So it sounds like everything that was kind of planned for Galaxy's Edge is now being transferred over to the monsters to Monstropolis, which is great. You know, they took what they learned in Paris and the other Frozen land that they built. They took what they learned, and they listened to guests, and they're going to now translate that to this park, which is going to be, really interesting to see. I think it'll be really great. Again, look. We are still, maybe a year or two out. Okay, we have, Disney said that Monsters Inc. that Monstropolis is supposed to open in 2027. We're gonna see if that happens. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but 2027, but 2028, I would probably assume better, but it from what I can tell and what I just read to you is what they've learned at the foreign parks, and now they're going to implement that to the domestic parks, which is great. I just hope that stays. That doesn't they're gonna I hope it's not like Galaxy's Edge where they promised it and then it came, and then after a while it went away because Disney was like, this costs too much money. We're not gonna have this anymore. No one's gonna care. So that all went away, and then Galaxy's Edge just feels like a big dead space now. So I hope that I really hope that this idea stays of unique interactions, and I think that Disney knows that they have to deliver with this project. Okay, they have to deliver this. They have to deliver a great project, because they took away one of the greatest things that was ever built for a theme park, Muppet Vision 3D. They took that away, and they were not ready. They were not ready for the backlash. They were not ready. They thought that they could just remove it and no one would care. So I don't know why they thought that, but they didn't think that no one would care. But obviously we all do. I assume that if you watch this, you feel the same way. Okay, but we also do know that Laugh Floor is not moving to Hollywood Studios. That's not happening. Okay, so people that are saying that the Laugh Floor is going to move into the Glob Theater, that's not happening. Okay, so it's going to be a brand new experience. We don't know what that is yet. Still, maybe now that we have even more details about this, we're probably going to learn more at the next D23. But it's not going to be Laugh Floor. Okay, it's not. Okay, Laugh Floor is not moving. I don't even think it's going to be around much longer. To be on, to tell you the truth, look, I love Laugh. I like Laugh Floor. It's fine. The live cast the live cast members, they make it. But it doesn't speak to people. It just, it's not one of those great, theme park, attractions. It's not. It actually frequently tests. It's the lowest testing attraction at the Magic Kingdom. It actually took the spot of the Country Bear Jamboree. Okay, the Country Bear Jamboree was the lowest testing attraction. That got updated. Now that's the highest testing attraction at the Magic Kingdom. And now Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is one of the lowest, if not the lowest, the lowest testing attraction at the Magic Kingdom. So if you catch that attraction with a 30-minute wait, that's on a good day. Okay, most of the time it's 10, 15, 20 minutes. Okay, and again, look, I love Laugh Floor's fine. I like it. I would be sad if the cast members lost their job, but again, Laugh Floor just it doesn't speak to people. It just doesn't. But addressing the rumor that we thought that Laugh Floor might move over to Hollywood Studios, that looks like that's not happening. That's not happening. Something completely different is going in that theater. So we're just gonna have to wait and see for more details on this, and see what happens. But it's not Laugh Floor. Okay, it's not Laugh Floor. So, but overall, it's one of those split mixed feelings. I don't think that Grand Avenue and Muppet Vision 3D should have closed. I don't think that never should have happened. Honestly, I think you should have closed Toy Story Land. Nobody would have cared. Nobody would have cared. Okay, because the land is cheap. It's just garbage. It's garbage. It's just wasted space. It's not good. So I would have been fine if they would have just ripped out Toy Story Land, and that's where they would have put Monsters Inc. Now, obviously, still would have had that problem of putting a theater in, because there's obviously no theater in Toy Story Land. So that's that would be one of the challenges. But that's neither here nor there at this point. But I'm on the fence about this. I'm excited for it, and on the other side of the coin, I'm still really upset that they got rid of one of the greatest attractions that was ever built for a theme park, Muppet Vision 3D. And to be honest with you, I don't think I'm ever going to get over that. I don't think I'm ever going to get over that. And it's, I know it sounds silly. I know it's, to the people that, well, you need to get over it, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, those people that say that are probably going to be the same people that are going to judge Cars Land the same way. They're going to judge it the same way, where, well, you took away the one thing I loved in this park and you replaced it with this. Why? Okay? But that, again, that's another conversation for another day. But, but I think that they're really going to try hard with this Monsters Inc. themed area. Again, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But again, I'm I'm hopeful. I really want them to succeed. I really, really want them to succeed, even though they took away one of my favorite attractions ever built. Okay? So, but I hope they succeed, and I really want them to succeed, because from the minute Monsters Inc. came out, what was that, 2001, I think? 2001, when that came out, and we all saw that door coaster sequence, we were like, man, that would be a great theme park ride. That would be a great theme park ride. And that never happened. And now it's happening. And now finally, after all these years, it's happening. So, it's, again, I'm going to have mixed feelings about this, but I, right now, am very cautiously optimistic. And I'll tell you right now, with this new changing management of Walt Disney World, I'm actually much more optimistic now than I was when Jeff Vallee was the president. Okay? I'm more optimistic now because I know that they're going to do it right. Okay? I have more faith in this regime than I did with the previous one. All right? So, we're just going to have to wait and see, but I am really hoping and praying that Monsters Inc., that Monstropolis is going to be a great land. It's going to be a great area, and hopefully what replaces Muppet Vision 3D will be as good as Muppet Vision 3D. Will it be better? I don't know. I really don't know. It's because the bar was set so high with Muppet Vision 3D. I don't know if you can pass that. I just don't know if you can. I would love to be proved wrong. I really, really would. Okay, but I just don't know. I really don't know. So again, this is, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I'm cautiously optimistic, and I'm pretty pretty excited about what's on the horizon for Monstropolis coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios. So, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to this channel for more content. I thank you guys very much for watching this video. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Y'all keep each other safe and healthy. I will see you right back here tomorrow for tomorrow's news. Until then, again, y'all keep each other safe and healthy, and we'll see you real soon.